Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for my rational perspective on Chelsea 0, Bayern Munich 3. A humbling night, I think that's the way to feel about it. Men against boys, I think is probably the correct term or the correct sort of feeling I came and the conclusion I came to at the end of that game. I'm sure like a lot of you. Had to make myself a cup of tea because it was absolutely freezing at the bridge. It was the most cold game I've been to probably this season at the bridge. So that didn't make it any easier to stomach and watch. I'm not as sort of disappointed and down as or irritated as I've been with some defeats this season. I think there was just a realization across the board where Chelsea are the quality of Bayern Munich, which I think we all knew. When you see the likes of Serge Gnabry, Robert Lewandowski, Thomas Müller, Philippe Coutinho coming off the bench, I mean, that's just ridiculous. You know, when you see Coutinho coming off the bench, you think it doesn't get any easier. And the game really just turned within a couple of minutes, and that is the Champions League in a nutshell, really. It is so brutal. You know, you make a few mistakes, you get punished. And I'm sure for the likes of Frank Lampard, for the likes of Petr Cech, watching on, who've been involved in major nights for Chelsea under the lights at Stamford Bridge, it would have been tough for them because, and especially, you know, myself and I'm like many of you growing up watching Chelsea win big European matches, it is difficult to sort of stomach. I think, you know, in terms of team selection and approach, I don't think anyone can sort of turn around in hindsight and goes, well, you should have done this, should have done that. Going with an unchanged team who won at the weekend such a big game, I don't think anyone could argue with that before the game. The only thing I said, you know, maybe bringing in Willian would have been my only change other than Ross Barkley. But I think as the game played out, Chelsea, are, you know, at the end of the first half, looking at that possession stat, 65% possession. I mean, Chelsea are not a team anymore that does that. You know, Chelsea usually have a lot more of the ball. They usually have more of the ball than other teams they face, and I think that was difficult for the likes of Mateo Kovacic and Jorginho and players like that, because they're not spoilers. You know, that's probably a position where we needed N'Golo Kante today. Was you need players who are more defensively sound. But I actually thought, you know, we were growing into the game. That's the frustration, is you felt like Chelsea started to get a bit more momentum and a few close calls, you know, Müller hitting the bar, Caballero making a good save from Lewandowski, Müller as well, I think having a curler just past the post in the first half. But we were creating some chances, getting the ball up to Giroud, and Kovacic had a few good moves. But straight after the second half, you know, it was Gnabry, world-class player he truly is. I've been a fan of his for a long time, and unfortunately, just like he did against Spurs, he absolutely ripped Chelsea to shreds at the start of that second half. That first goal, just the movement from him and Lewandowski hitting it back to him, and the second goal as well, the third goal. And you know, my hope is that this isn't too demoralising for the young players, the likes of Reece James, the likes of Mason Mount, who struggled tonight. And my hope is that moving into Bournemouth, which is a massive game for Chelsea in the race for top four, which is the main objective. We all knew the Champions League this year was a bit of a side quest for Chelsea. But I hope it doesn't demoralise the group too much. Marcus Alonso getting a red card. That's the first red card we've had in a long time. And I think it just shows you, if we're just talking about the Champions League, where Chelsea need to get to and why it needs a bit of an overhaul of the squad and the quality needed to compete with the likes of Bayern Munich. You know, this isn't the most fluid and probably the most dominant Bayern team, but they've still got so much quality that could take them all the way and get them through more difficult moments. So those are my thoughts and feelings. Very humbling, men against boys. I really hope it isn't too crushing for the team. I think a bit reality check is probably the way to use it and the way to phrase it. But let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you did enjoy, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to never miss an upload. Follow me on Twitter @SonOfChelsea, and I'll see you again.